If I get it up and then you guys don't make it to class, you at least know what we went over. You can look at it, you can pause it, and do whatever you need to do. Okay? So, the first problem has to do with like simplifying exponential form. An exponential form has to do with having a number with an exponent. So, if I have 2 to the 5th times 5 to the 2nd, what I really have is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 5 twos. 5 twos. And what I really have here is 2 fives times 5 times 5. So what I end up with is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Well, this is 32. Okay? So in other words, it's 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, times 2, which is 32. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 twos. So, I got 32, and then I've got 5 times 5, which is 25. Okay? Now it goes back to that whole, remember we were taking the multiplication but doing it with easy steps, or easier steps. Okay? So, we want to decide, do we want to do the 25 times this or this times that? And it really doesn't matter. Just choose one and always start with what you have here. I mean, so I've got 3 or 32. So I'm going to take 30 times 5. And 30 times 5 or 25 is the 15 plus the 60, right? So I have 60 plus 15, and how I did that was I took my 30 times 20, and I got 60. And I took my 30 times 5, and I get, I'm sorry, it's 600. 30 times, 3 times 20 is 60, but 30 times 20 is 600, because I'm going to have the 2 zeros. So now I'm going to take the 30 times the 5, which is 15, plus the 0 is 150, right? So then I use my 2. Then I have to have my 2, so I got 2 times 25, and I've got 2 times 25, well, I know that's 50, because that was an easy one. But if I wanted to do it in pieces, I could still do 2 times 20, and that would be 40. And then 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay, so now I've got easy. I've taken something a little bit complex, made it a little more simplistic, right? So that it's easy math. Now I add them up. Where is this going to help you? Well, it's going to help you on this test because you have problems that you specifically have to add in columns, right? So it's going to be very helpful if you do it this way because you're not using a calculator, right? So you want to be able to know what we're doing. So I got zeros. I got 5, 4, and 1.
10.
And I've got 1, 6, and 1. And I got 700.
1, 6,
700.
and 1.
Did I do something wrong?
Looks like 1, 6, and 1 adds up to 8.
Yes. 8. Okay? Good. Paying attention. Alright, so, remember, the 1 in the 1 is 7, but you carried the 1. You carried the 1 over. You've got to remember to add that up. Okay? Hey. Yes, it is. Thank you. Alright. So, we good with that? So again, exponential form is when it's in its exponent form. So it has exponents and the number. To go from the exponent to the number, you tell me how many of these numbers there are. And then you do the math. Boom, 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 all the way across. Okay? Alright. So, when we go from this form back to exponents, you're going to do it kind of backwards, right?
When what?
When we go from this form back to exponential form, we're going to go just backwards.
So what is this form called?
Well, this is just expanded form.
Expanded form?
Yeah. Now, you're going to also, or not, no, it's not expanded form, because expanded form is when we actually write it in,
Oh, what is it?
well, it's just written as its prime factors.
So it's prime factor
These
form?
are prime factors, yeah. So these are just the factors of what there are.
If
It's
we
not
write-
really a form at all. It's
Oh.
just a set of numbers. And so you're going to put them in exponential form. Right now at this point, it's just a set of numbers. Okay? Alright, so let's move on to the next one, which is writing words. So when you've got something like this, you just want to write it in words, and you're just gonna, like you would on your checkbook, 1,000, 100, 25. Okay, 1,125, and that's written in words. Okay. Then when they ask you to just subtract, again, two ways to subtract. Okay? And I'm going to show you both ways. So let's just take a number, 13,142 and 13,142, and let's just take the number 1537. Okay. 1537. Obviously, this is not easy. This way, we're going to work it like this. Over here, we're going to work it like this. Okay, so two ways to do the subtraction. One way is to go from right to left, and we like to use like the phrase called "is trouble coming." So, "is trouble coming" means, is the next set of numbers going to be bigger on the bottom than on the top? Because if you're subtracting 5 by 7, obviously you can't get 7 from 5, right? So that's going to alert that trouble is coming. So here, with trouble coming, we want the same amount of numbers on the bottom as we have on the top. So if we don't have them, we got to fill it in with a 0. And so before I subtract the 0 from 1, I need to look here and say, is trouble coming? Or is this number smaller than this one? And in this case, no. So 0 from 1 is 1. And then I go to here, is trouble coming? Yes. So I need to borrow 1 from here and put it here. Okay? Oops. Put it here.
So you're working with the 3, but you're looking at the 5?
Yes, we're looking at the 5 and working it. So we want to see if it's going to be pulling from here or not. But then I have to change this number to a 0 because I borrowed 1 from it in order to make this a 13. Okay? So, oh wait, whoa, other way around. I'm going to borrow the 1 from this one and make this a 2 and put the 1 here so that I have it there for the 5 when I get to it. So 1 from 2 is 1, and then at the same time, is trouble coming? No. So I don't have to borrow from here to there. So now I can go, okay, for 5 from 11, 6. Okay, and then I go to here and I say, is trouble coming? Yes, so I need to make this a 12, but I borrowed that 1 from here. So then I take 3 from 3 and I get 0. And then I get 7 from 12, which is 5. Okay, and so this is going from left to right. Okay, now the traditional way you've done it is going from right to left. This way, I know right off the bat that I'm looking at somewhere around 10,000. Now I'm looking at around 11,000. Now I'm looking at around 11,600. Now I'm looking at around 11,600, and now I'm looking at around 11,605 exactly, right? Here, I'm looking at, oh, I got to borrow the 1, so that's 3 and that's 1. So I'm still getting my 5, but does it tell me that I'm anywhere near an estimate? No, it's telling me 5. Doesn't give me anywhere close to an estimate. So when we're doing estimations, or we're doing rounding to the nearest 100, or anything like that, you got to do the whole problem before you're done. Whereas rounding to the nearest 100, or estimated values when doing subtraction, going from left to right will save you time. Okay? So, and then this is 3 from 3, which is 0, and then this is 5 from 1, which I can't do. So this is 5 from 11, which is 6. This is 1 from 2, which is 1. This is nothing from 1, which is 1. So again, same answer, different way. Okay? Alright, so the next one is find all factors. Find all factors. Well, let's start with a number. How about 48? 48 is a good number, right? So I want to find all the factors to 48. And this is the way I would do it. I would start with 1. And that is, what's the other factor with 1? 48. And then I would move on from there. 2. 2 goes into 48 24 times. Okay, we know 2 goes into 48 because 4 plus 8 is 12, and 12 is divisible by 3. No, that's for 3, sorry. We're talking about 2. 2 goes into 48 because it's even. Okay? 3 goes into 48 because 4 plus 8 is 12, and 12 is divisible by 3. That's our trick for 3, to know that 3 goes into 48. So 3 goes into 48 once, and this is how we do the short division. So I'm saying 3 goes into 48, right?
1.
Once with 1 left over, and it goes into 18 6 times, right? So 3 times 16. Okay? And then does 4 go into 48? Yeah. Well, because 2 goes into there and it leaves an even number, I know 4 will go into it because 2 goes into it twice. So 4 goes in, and I can do the same thing. 4 goes into 48 once with nothing left over, and then twice. So now I know I've got 4 and 12. Does 5 go into it?
No.
No. Does 6 go
Yeah.
into it? Yeah, how many times?
8.
8. Okay, and does 7 go into it? And that's its middle number anyway, so I can't, if I go up, I'm just going back, right? So now I have every single factor. And that's why I would go 2 ends, 2 ends, 2 ends, 2 ends, 2 ends, 2 ends, middle, done. Okay? All right.